stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Show Africa, Pistorius released from prison on parole. From Israel, heavy fire from Lebanon targets northern Israel. From Japan, death toll from New Year's Day earthquake increases. From United Kingdom, major rivers across Britain flooded after heavy rain. From United States, Biden criticizes 2024 election opponents, Trump Republicans. From Australia, newborn baby in critical condition after free birth delivery. Our guest for today is a public diplomat, and we will be introducing him to you when we come back from this break. Stay with us.
From the line of ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentary on The Fact Today.
Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on the show today.
Sure.
Now, into our first story for today. River Steenkamp's after Oscar Pistorius was released from prison on parole. Pistorius left prison on Friday in the South African capital, Pretoria, after serving 9 years for murdering Steenkamp, who was his girlfriend, in a crime that shocked the world. Has there been justice for River? Has Oscar served enough time? There can never be justice if your loved one is never coming back, and no amount of time served will bring back River back. Public perception of justice.
I think here justice is not served. Justice is not served at all. Life is at stake, and the law does not allow anybody to take another person's life, no matter the circumstances that have led to such action. It would have been very clear that we team together, because we understand that all things work together to do that love God. And he did not show up that he actually loved his girlfriend. He showed a different attitude altogether, an attitude to kill, an attitude to maim, an attitude to take her life. And therefore, what we are saying is that the law, the international law, does not allow this practice that one will kill somebody and is going scot-free after serving about 11 years jail term. It's not sufficient. It's not sufficient at all. It does not match with the message is sending to the world at large, that people should refuse loving their girlfriends, or they should start hating their girlfriends. What message is this?
Do you suggest that the parents of...
Here, what we are saying is that the law should apply. That's what we are saying. The parents of Stampede should take up this matter very seriously. It's not a matter that they should leave the boyfriend to live his life. It can't be because justice is not served. Where a boy took his girlfriend into his house, killed her, and wanted to sell her parts. We witnessed it. So what we are saying is that the tendency of men, all right, generally, who we don't know, who nobody knows the heart of a man. Should want such things to eat deep into this. And what the law says is what we apply. And we are subject to it. Let us obey it and keep it so that it becomes a precedence for others to follow, to avert future reoccurrences. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to our second story for today. Military said, adding it had responded by striking a terrorist cell that took part in the attack as top U.S. and European diplomats sought to stop spillover from the Gaza war. Shortly after rocket sirens sounded across northern Israel, the military said that approximately 40 launches from Lebanon towards the area of Meron in northern Israel were identified. There were no immediate 52 rockets as a preliminary response to the killing of Hamas deputy chief earlier this week. Tensions have been high since on Tuesday in the southern suburbs of Beirut, the stronghold of Hamas' Iranian-backed Lebanese ally Hezbollah, in an attack widely attributed to sworn foe Israel. The head of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, said on Friday Lebanon would be exposed to more Israeli operations if his group did not respond to the killing. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and the European Union's senior diplomat Josep Borrell began a new diplomatic push on Friday to stop the spillover from the 3-month-old Gaza war into Lebanon, the Israeli-occupied West Bank, and Red Sea shipping lanes. Israel and Hezbollah often trade fire across the border. The West Bank is boiling with emotion, and the Iran-aligned Houthis seem determined to continue attacks on Red Sea shipping lanes until Israel halts its bombardment of Gaza. Israel's onslaught began after Hamas militants from Gaza attacked Israel on October 7 with 1,200 people killed and 240 taken hostage, according to Israeli officials. The offensive, aimed at wiping out the Islamist movement that rules Gaza, has killed 22,600 people, according to Palestinian health officials, and devastated a densely populated enclave of 2.3 million people. There has been no let-up in the conflict despite several trips to the region by Blinken and other senior diplomats. The official Palestinian Wafa news agency reported on Saturday that 18 Palestinians were killed by an Israeli attack on a house east of Khan Yunis in Gaza. And in the West Bank village of Beit Rima, the Palestinian Health Ministry said a 17-year-old was shot dead by Israeli forces and 4 other people were injured. Now, Pastor George, what do you think, given this story, are the potential consequences of the Gaza war spilling over into Lebanon and the West Bank?
First, I want to thank the European Union diplomats who found time, as well as the United Nations, to have called Israel to order. Just yesterday, France sent their message across to Israel, advising them of limitations. And what has been the problem of the UN over these years is to be able to advise other nations on of embarking on a continuous warfare.
Snapping power links to 22,000 homes in the Hoku, 30,000 evacuees awaited aid. The number of confirmed deaths stood at 110 for the previous day, the Ishikawa government website showed. I am keenly aware of the extent of the damage caused, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida said as the toll crossed 100. The figure is the highest since a toll of 276 in quakes in 2016 in the southwestern region of Kumamoto, a tally that includes related deaths. Kishida told government officials to speed emergency efforts to restore trunk roads ripped up by the quake and delivery of relief supplies. Freelance cameraman Masao Mochizuki, 73, stood in a long queue outside a supermarket after it reopened on Thursday in the regional city of Wajima, waiting to buy necessities. It is such a help that they have managed to reopen, Mochizuki said, after buying a box of heat patches, blue plastic sheets to cover broken windows, and a pair of shoes to protect against glass shards that later shift evacuation spots in the community's 7.6.
Tragedy that has affected lives, tragedy that has affected the facilities, government facilities, public facilities, homes, offices, and rebuilding this structure will take